What is up, YouTube? If you're
Hey,
finding this by
everybody.
mistake, we are Thin Line Defense. This is TLD live chat, where we kind of discuss some of the videos that we had earlier in the week, and normally that's the plan, and then we kind of shoot off the rails at some point and start talking about randomness. But if you're here and you're new, welcome. Consider subscribing to this channel and our Thin Line Defense channel. If you're some OG subscribers, thank you for coming again. Let's get going. Braden, you want to kick it off? What video did you have this week?
So this week was the Holosun 510c. Full disclosure, we've had that optic for a little bit. We just had a couple of them that have kind of been bumping it up down the schedule. So we have to kind of push that back a little bit. Probably why my shooting footage was in the snow, but then in my recording footage it was like hot outside. So it was kind of funny. The 510c is a weird thing, and I didn't really talk about it that much in the video. But Jason had like talked to me about it afterwards. He was like, "Man, that's really cool." I was like, "Yeah, but I really wish I would have touched on some things that I didn't really talk about, insofar as it's a low mount, and I mean like it's below co-witness. So when you think to yourself like, "Oh, that'd be really cool to run," and I'll be like, "Yeah, on a PCC, yeah, like some of those smaller sub guns, I would say yeah, but like on a rifle style platform, the optic's a bit low." And I probably should have addressed that a little more than I did. But from the aspect of, I like the reticle. Like, I love how it's like the same. Like on my pistol, it's the same reticle as it's on, the PCC. But on a rifle, I'd have to go through it. I would love to, I'd want to have it on a riser. Like, it would need to come up a good bit. I think I would really like it, though. Or even if it'd be a cool offset, it's kind of big and cool.
I can't remember. That had a QD mount on there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Stephen Edwards, I don't think we've gotten to meet you yet. Welcome to the live chat.
Well,
Hey,
Stephen Edwards, congratulations. You're the first person that chimed in. So you get a Pitbull Tactical Universal Mag Carrier.
All of our like normal viewers are gonna be like, "What?" Every time.
Yeah, hey, you snooze, you lose, guys.
Stephen Edwards. Hey,
So
Stephen, I'm gonna type in here. Oh, look, Misfit, you just missed it. You got snaked out. He's gonna watch this live chat and realize that Steve. He's like, "Who's Stephen Edwards?"
Yeah.
What's up, Misfit? Good to see you. By the way, thanks for joining us last week. So, Stephen, I'm gonna put our Gmail in the description down below. So shoot us an email. Jason's gonna catch that email from you. We'll get your shipping info, and we're not joking. He's really seriously. You're for our first winner of our random live chat giveaway.
Yeah, we're just gonna do random. It could be the first person that chats. It could be a new person that chats. I had a boss once that had this T-shirt. Golly, it said word to your mother, or no, it just said word on it. And one time I said word to your mother, and he was like, "Dang it!" He got mad because he was playing this game with himself that he didn't tell anyone about. The first person that said word to your mother to him won this T-shirt. That T-shirt for a while said word to your mother. Yeah. So Stephen, shoot us an email, man. We'll get this out to you. So and I have one of these. I use it pretty regularly. It's not an EDC mag carrier for me, but I really like it. It's universal. It fits. The one, not really a complaint, but the one thing you need to know: if you run Springfield Armory or metal mags, the metal will shave the inside of this plastic out, not fully, but just to the point until the mag is comfy inside there. But Glock mags, anything like that, it works perfect.
Now, do those mags work on battle belts too? Like, I haven't seen how they attach. I don't
know. So it's just I don't know if you can catch it on the back.
Thing? Oh,
it's just a regular like belt loop type thing, a little clip that goes over your belt. I don't know if it's big enough to fit on a battle belt. I doubt it. Really meant for like concealed carry. You can have it inside the waistband or outside. Yeah,
cool. Okay. Cool. So anyway, sorry guys. So welcome back.
Steven was like, he's probably like, I was looking for cooking channels and
exactly.
Getting a mag carrier.
What's going on this? So the 510c, I really liked it because it was familiar. PCC wise, I think it would be awesome. Jason was talking how he's like, man, I wish I would have known about that optic. I would have put it on my rifle. I was like, man, I probably should have chimed in on that. I wouldn't do that. Like, I purposely had it on a sub gun like that I want to have a lower optic because it works that way. A lot of the ones we see from our Sig Romeo 5s, you have the option of running a low mount or a high mount. We see that in a lot of what we have. Pretty much everything we have can run all of it, I think, most of it. There's a way to transition them. From that 510C, I really should have addressed that. I didn't. There's no real way to change that mount height.
Oh,
so
you're going to have to get a Picatinny riser.
You would have to do some sort of riser.
Interesting.
Or you just run it like that. For a truck gun, that's why I'm saying, like, for that, like, grab and go. Steven's with Dragon Mount. That's awesome.
Oh, hey.
We do know you. You're not some
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's even funnier. Yes, we're going to show that off in just a minute too. So that'll be a good segue. We'll go right into Dragon Mounts in just a second.
So yeah, I'll probably already have his address. BT does.
That's too funny.
Hey, welcome, Steve.
Yeah, welcome. So yeah, I really did like that optic. I love the QD, but as we talked about with QDs, this is where we're getting into a weird world of who's really taking these off. Like, I'm taking them off because I'm switching between rifles and airsoft and doing different training with them. And I don't think most people are. And even if I had just a Romeo 5, like, it's a single screw. Like, the amount of time you save is nominal.
Yeah, I think the idea behind it is, though, like, if you're running a red dot and you don't have an etched reticle and the battery goes out on you, QD, you can just take it off and run iron sights, right? If you zero it properly, if you co-witness it properly, you don't. In my mind, you don't have to. They just leave it on and it's dead, and you run it irons through the red dot.
Now, I will say that's the coolest thing. The fact that I ran that Holosun for hours and not realizing the battery wasn't installed, that would be my coolest one for be like, hey, I need to have like an end of the world optic. I would bring that and be like, dude, we're going to run out of batteries eventually. You know, it could be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. We're going to run out of batteries eventually, but this little guy is still going to work. Our fiber optics are still going to work.
Yeah.
So
I'd be curious with that low mount. So I had that SIG Romeo 5 on my PCC, and it's the takedown version. So my irons are out on the barrel, and they're lower. So even I had that low mount Romeo 5, and I can't co-witness with that. So I'd be curious to see if that Holosun would co-witness with that setup.
That'd be interesting. We should try it out. Just real quick, saying hi to Harry. Good to see him in here. I'll start grabbing these for you if you want to take them.
Okay. So Misfit says, not sure how many people switch optics often enough to need a quick disconnect. That's a good point. So I think the thing with that particular optic is it's more of a truck gun or like to throw in a bag. So in that case, or even like my takedown, for instance, being able to take the optic off of them when you throw them in a bag or when you break them down and you put them in your backpack would be nice to have. But you're right, not a lot of people are going to be, switching those from one thing to the other.
And think of like some of the really expensive stuff, like the Unity fast mounts, and even we have a ScalarWorks Leap mount, like, and they're kind of their claim to fame is that they install so fast, but like you're going to pay $300 for some of these, $100, $200, $300 for something you can switch out, and that's like it's the only real trade it has. And I'm like, man, what are y'all paying for? Like, oh, it's super lightweight, but you're talking in terms of like 7 ounces or 5 ounces. That's not a measurable amount. Like, I have to put it on a scale to know if it's weight. That means it's not a real amount of that. Like, you're going to pay 3 times as much to save 2 ounces in his QD that you're never going to use. Yeah, I'm with Misfit on this. I use QDs a ton, and even if I didn't have it, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I'd be like, okay, cool. All right, cool. Now we're good. So
yeah, the only thing would be, did they include a bit so you use your torque wrench?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need that 3 millimeter. I'm gonna have to get it eventually.
So how's it mounted to that?
What was that?
How's it mounted to that QD? Can you swap it for another mount, you think?
It looks like, and I didn't mess with it. I wish I had it down here with me. I don't, unfortunately. It looks like it has a way you can remove it from that plate. I bet you could do a different thing than that QD. I don't know what footprint it is. It's pretty wide. It's definitely weird. So it wouldn't be like a standard. What is the normal standard Delta Point Pro?
Aim point
T1. Yeah, that's the normal footprint most people went to. So, okay, cool. But yeah, other than that, I really didn't. I liked it for what it was. Putting it on a rifle, I probably would have been more annoyed that I would have to get down so incredibly low that it wouldn't really work. The solar panel is pretty cool. So, any other questions you guys had on it? Otherwise, we can talk on the Dragon mounts. See how got them in here anyway.
Yeah. You want to see if he can pop in here in the video or not?
I probably have to send him an invite. I don't know if you have that. Probably.
Are you up for that, Steve? Or
we can bring him in the next one too.
okay, whatever works for him.
Yeah. Let's just plan on bringing him the next one so we can get him all the info and get everything tracked over to him appropriately. He can get everything set up too. And just pop in here with his microphone just screaming at us. We'll get him all set up next time though. But just to get those, so yeah, Stephen Edwards is with Dragon Mouse while Cody's working stuff. Sorry, Cody, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so Joe, Jason, and I were all kind of chit-chatting about storing weapons, different ways to store weapons, and they chose 2 different interesting ways to store their weapons, but I was looking for more of an option to show my weapons off, right? So I have like a nice 1911 with some custom grips on it. I didn't want to just leave it in the safe where no one could see it. So I'm currently building my office space in my den and was looking around for some way to display this 1911. So it just so happens, Jason, maybe you can chime in on that. How did Chuck get us in touch with him?
So Chuck,
I know they were
at a gun show, and he had sent me a picture of their business card and said, "Hey, you might want to reach out to these guys. They're looking for people to show off their stuff. They make some great mounts."
Yeah, so I know, Braden, you got some experience with wall mounts and things like that, but we took a quick look at Dragon Mount's website, and I was like, man, right there on the front was like a 1911 desktop mount, and I was like, hey, that's meant to be. So we reached out to Steve. I communicated with him for about a week or so, and I plan on doing a video where I'll explain a little more. But he's an Army veteran, and he also works for the Sheriff's Department for his local community. So he's been doing that for 22 years. So he's part of the Thin Blue line, Thin Green line. So he's definitely family. So we wanted to start working with him. So what he did was we communicated. He said he would send me out some mounts, and so here's an AR mount, and he even put our logo in there. Now this is 3D printed. See if I can get it good. There you go.
So he can put logo, like anybody's logo, he can put on the side. So then
I asked that question. So right now, if he makes like a mass, like a bunch of mounts or a bunch of wall mounts for, say, like a gun store or somebody who's going to a gun show or something like that, he'll put their logo on there. But right now, it takes a long time and it's very tedious to get different logos and things on there just for a couple mounts. So he did this. He did the logo for us to kind of show it off, show that capability off. But I think for right now, he's trying to stay where he'll do a logo. He'll do a logo, he said, but it would cost him a little extra than what he has on the website.
So kind of like when you do coins, like challenge coins, you got to pay for the die, and then you get a bunch after that. Once they have your die, you're good though.
Yeah. He said it all depends on kind of, we got a lot of little detail in ours, and it still came out pretty well on that 3D print. But he said the AR tabletop mounts take 12 hours, I think is what he said. And then got the 1911 mount here took 8 to 9 hours, I think, is if I remember correctly. But I mean, you can see it's got the model number in there, and it made in the USA. Dragon mounts on the bottom.
You said you're gonna do a video on it too, so we can see some like high def images of it and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
So I have one with my 1911 on it. Do you want me to show it or no?
No, we can't show it on this one.
Yeah, we can't show guns on.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, you can't.
Oh, we can, but we can't hold them.
Yeah.
Well, technically, it'd be on the mount. But anyway, I mean,
with them about how my glove video is firearms. Let's just leave them alone for now.
Yeah. But like I said, I'll do a video and I'll have some better pictures and stuff like that. And he's got a website as well, dragonmounts.com. I don't know if you can see that.
I'll pull it up while you're talking.
Yeah. But and you can see these little holes here. So even if you want to put it up on a shelf or something like that, you can bolt it down that way.
Okay.
Your $1,500.
That's what I was going to ask, if there was a way. If you had a desktop, could you mount it somehow?
Yeah. And it's heavy enough right now. I'm looking at my heavy pew and it's not falling over.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Now, did you
Yeah,
happen to get any wall mounts as well?
So I think I'm gonna purchase a wall mount from them. Actually,
I gotta get a couple.
Yeah. So my thing with that is I didn't want to. So I'm still working on my den. I'm still putting drywall up, so I didn't want to poke any holes just yet. These little desktop ones are perfect for like a shelf or something like that. Actually, you can see. I don't know. I saw a couple of his YouTube videos where he's at like a gun show and he shows like some of the displays, how he has them laid out and stuff like that.
Very cool. The thin blue line.
Yeah.
That's awesome. There you go.
Yeah. And you can see if you click on one of these, click on the Glock subcompact one. So if you notice, it's mounted on the wall and it has a spot for you to put a magazine.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty unique. I know I saw the ones that Braden has, and I don't think it has a place to put any magazines like that.
No, that was before. I think they changed it so there's a different revision now. You could do that. You got to change the whole dang thing out though. So
Yeah.
I thought about switching all my stuff over to his, but since mine's all drilled into concrete, I probably have to drill all new holes and everything. So I'm like, dang, that stinks.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, he does have a full-time job. He's a very busy person, but he does this out of the back of his. He's got a gun shop, and maybe he can chime in if he's still here. The name of his gun shop, but he does the 3D printing of these mounts in the back of that shop.
Very cool.
I need one of these. This is what I need.
Yeah. I wonder if you could somehow embed, like cut out circles that you can embed some of those neodymium magnets in that, so you could just magnetize it to like the side of your safe or something.
So that's what I was trying to get them to
you
do.
may not
even do. Sorry, go ahead, Cody.
I'm sorry. You may not even have to do that. We're talking with him. He may just be able to 3D print where those magnets would fit in there. You know what I mean? It would just be part of the design.
Because I've tried forever to find somebody that can do Lancer mags, and because they don't have the PMag end that like kind of flares out, they're just straight across. Yeah. But they're metal, like they have metal feedlet. They have metal parts of that magazine. I kept trying to talk to Spartan Mounts. That's who I usually originally went with, but they're like they never really just like pursued it. So I would love to see some Lancer mags. I love Lancer mags. I'm not going to run anything else.
Yeah.
So Steven did chime in. He said he runs EKG firearms.
Yeah. And that's on top of everything else that he does. He said he was the deputy chief coroner for his little department.
Oh, apparently he meant to send you a wall mount.
No, I just asked for desktop. Yeah, I'll get with you and I'll buy a wall mount.
Cool.
One thing I was going to point out, I don't know if you could see in his pictures, but he's got the cutout for the magazine on both sides. So no matter how you have it bolted, I mean, you could put the gun either way, you know.
So now, Steven, are your wall mounts the same way? Because the ones that I use, it only goes one way. Like I face them to the right, but some of my guns, since I'm best-handed, I got to go the other way because the bolt's in the way of the wall. So I have to run them the other way. So yeah, if you just go both ways, that'd be awesome. And yeah, and seeing how you looked at magnet mounts, I would love to talk to you just to develop a Lancer mag solution like you have in your quad mount. I would love to mount my magazines and not just have them sitting on the desk all day. So yeah, okay, yeah, his wall mounts go both ways. So cool. Okay, cool. Awesome. We definitely went on what we went on a little tangent on that one, but a good one.
But you know what? It's important to know that wall mounts go both ways.
And now we broke ice. All right, welcome to the show, everybody. Now it's awkward.
Yeah. No, but I mean, as much material was used in this thing to make it as strong as it is, it's pretty lightweight, which is surprising.
Cool. Yeah, I was kind of surprised with that too.
I
can usually get them on the wall. When I was hooking them into concrete, I have a 15-pound rifle on one of those. Like, yep, just I'm good to go.
Yeah,
so pretty cool.
But my pew pew looks amazing sitting on it. And I know that was one thing he showed on one of his YouTube things. They had one of the guys was zeroing an AR with it. So he had the AR mount, had his gun on it. Obviously, it wouldn't have a magazine in it, but he was zeroing it at the range with that. You couldn't necessarily do it with the 1911 mag because it's aimed
Yeah.
off just the grip angle on it. But very cool little product, I thought.
Oh, see, look how smart we are. See what Misfit had to say? He goes, yeah, I saw that Swamp Hawk Optic got in trouble for handling guns on their live a few weeks ago. I was wondering about that. And if you remember, we actually had Crimson Trace on ours, and they were like, hey, just as a surprise, we're going to show you our new RDS. And we're like, oh, no, we're about to get shut down. Like that, that's about to happen.
He was racking that bad boy and everything.
Look at this. There's some live ammo. We're like, well, whatever. Like, he's fancy, so we don't care. We got all kinds of new people in here. Look at this. So we hang a 45-pound 50 BMG on the wall. So it just shows you what that thing can do. So definitely hold some weight. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
We got, Hellhound, welcome. I think you just, you were liking some of our stuff on Instagram yesterday. I was about to give you a shout out on our Instagram. So big thanks to you. Like commented on a ton of stuff and liked a ton of stuff. So yeah, I was gonna post one of those today just to say thanks for all the love on our Instagram today.
How are we coming across an old Twitch?
Oh, he's on Twitch. That's even better.
Yeah.
He's like the only dude on Twitch. Like I'm the guy.
Well, there's cute chicks playing video games. I'd rather watch that.
Oh, he's a different hell out, but just take the credit for it. Just take the credit for it. Like, yeah, thanks. Like, did you hear about this weird thing on Twitch about? I don't. Maybe it's probably something right for. We got to talk about it later. Some hot tub drama that I have. Some weird Twitch problem where they're having issues with Twitch ladies.
Oh, it's not the Twitch I get invited to.
No. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. Check this out. So he promoted in around 30 different Discord channels. So that's cool.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Jake. So I know him.
Yeah.
Jake is a guy I knew when I was stationed down in Florida. So appreciate that. He lives in Idaho now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Appreciate it, Jake. Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. They're gonna realize we're just a bunch of goobers playing in our basement. Like, why are we? What? Like, these guys have a lot to say. We're just guys playing
Well,
in
if he
their
knows
yard.
Jason, he knows that already.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So good segue, Jason. Why don't you? Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. Let us see all these extra people in here. That's killer. Okay, all right. I don't know you. Jason knows you, but you're my kind of people. I'm gonna say it right now. Like, we're all gonna get along.
Yeah.
So good segue then, Jason. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about your? I know you told us a little about the story. The winter camping. Yes, Hellhound. I know you. Real quick. I know we need Discord. I'll go set one up after. I was gonna say maybe Jason. No. I'll go set up after this.
I don't know Discord. That's all.
Yeah, if you can make one, dude, do it. Thin line defense.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just toss me the info, whatever I need to do to get on it. I'll have to teach these guys how to use Discord.
I'm on Discord. I just not.
You're on Discord?
I don't know how to use it.
Yeah, there's a reloading Discord, and they regularly pop up with when stuff becomes available, like primers and stuff.
That's when my brother found a PS5. Was on Discord. He followed all those like catch them on sale, catch them in stock or whatever. Okay, Good off tangent. Awesome, everybody else here. Very glad to have you guys joining us. Let's hear about your winter camping survival. What went wrong and what didn't?
Yeah, so last it was a couple weeks ago now. I went up to Mount Hood, went camping up there with Matt from Disillusion 1811. So if you guys want to check out his YouTube channel, fantastic. So we decided to go do some winter camping, and it was a great, relatively easy hike up. The one thing that we thought was funny is every person that we saw on the trail was asked the same question, like, "Are you guys camping out here?" Because they knew it was going to be, down into the 20s, and they see us with our backpacks and the tent and everything else. Yeah, we're camping. Are you going to start a campfire? Yeah,
we're going to cut them.
That's so.
We're hoping we can start a campfire. When you showed it, though, it had like burned down.
Yeah,
like 6 feet.
Yeah, and you still couldn't see Earth. It was absolutely bonkers. So, nice easy hike up there. No one was around once we got up to this lake. I don't even know, man. It was probably like 10 plus feet of snow on top of this lake. And so we found an area, cleared it out, and set up camp and just had a blast, built a fire, made some dinner. There was a lot of things that we learned afterwards. Like, I froze my tush off all night, man. The sleeping bag that I had wasn't a good sleeping bag. The sleeping pad that I had from Exped gave us some sleeping pads. Those things were primo. I'm looking to buy some for myself now because they're fantastic winter pads. My sleeping bag was terrible. Yep.
Just to interrupt you, I think as you're talking, I think the Hellhound is actually building a Discord for us. So
You'll watch me build this.
Maybe after the stream, yeah. Like we can't do it in the middle of it, but we'll get with you right after. I appreciate it. And now I keep interrupting Jason.
No, it's fine. So, anyways, winter camping. I didn't have a proper sleeping bag. I thought I did. I didn't. I didn't have warm enough clothing. I bought these thermal pants, and they were garbage. I had some wool socks on. I had some hand warmers that I ended up stuffing into one of my socks. Took my poncho liner and like wrapped it around my torso or my lower body so I could try to keep my lower body warm. Threw my thermals on, my shirt on, my jacket on. I probably only got 3 or 4 hours of sleep. And even saying all of that, one of the best camping experiences I've ever had. It was just, you're out in nature. There's no one around. I love winter camping because there's no bugs that you have to deal with. Mm-hmm. Like I could fix the heat issue, right? I can get a better sleeping bag or I can get better electric warmers or something. But yeah, one of the best camping experiences I've ever had. And
it was fun
absolutely bonkers.
I know me and my wife were dogging you. Like, we want to hear more about what you were cooking. So like next time, like you need to break down what you're making. So we're like, I want to make that, but you just chop it away. Like, no, dude, I want to know more about this.
Yeah,
we
talked about that. Yeah, so we talked about that beforehand. Matt, who prepped all that, he had asked me like, should I chop everything up at home or should I chop it up there? And I was like, nah, let's take it up there. We'll chop it up. We'll try to film it. So I had more B-roll of that. I just didn't think anyone would be interested in us cutting up veggies.
That's my favorite
next
part.
time I'll do
I think it's the whole like
4 minutes of us cutting veggies.
Yeah, like this, like how do you prep in that environment? Like that's kind of where I'm at. Like, what did you cut on? What did you cook on? Like, so think about those little nuances. Like, what do you use to slice the food?
So Matt brought a cutting board with him.
Even Harry.
Yeah, it was great. I'll tell you what. So Matt planned the food, and when that package of, it was like this big. It was probably like 3 of my heads. And I remember him wrapping it up and I'm thinking, there is no way I'm going to eat all that. I mean, it's going to be impossible. But not realizing how hungry I was from the hike up there, dude, I ate that entire thing. It was gone. Absolutely gone.
You see, Brown is in here and he's saying backcountry cooking show. Like, that's what we need. Like,
so next time I will make sure to do that.
Yeah. Like we're going up in the mountains, but I know y'all just want to see what I'm cooking and what I'm making, so you have to hold tight.
No, I thought that your water solution was also interesting to watch too. Like I could hear it in your voice. You're like, we're running out of water.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
And it's so funny when you think about it, you're like, we're literally, it's almost like being in the ocean. Like we're literally surrounded by water and we're running out of water. You said it took
5 hours. So it was basically 1 hour per liter. So we had my 3-liter Camelback, 2 1-liter Nalgene's. It took us 5 hours to melt enough water and filter it to fill those up. So we'd have water for breakfast the next morning and then water for our hike back to the truck. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
It's funny. So one of the things that that's so true, Harry. I went hiking to camping in Yosemite once, and I had a cast iron griddle. We cooked some bacon on, and my wife's she hates bacon grease, and I grew up, you use that stuff for everything. So there's all this bacon grease left over on the griddle, and I go to wipe it up so I could cook pancakes, and my wife goes, no, we're camping. Calories don't count when you're camping. Just cook the pancake over bacon grease. Yeah.
So Steven, Steve has to head out. He's our Dragon Mounts guy. Thanks for coming over. It was awesome to see you, man.
Thanks, Steve.
We'll send
Make sure you get us that. I'll talk with Cody about getting you an address so we get this to you.
Yes, we're glad to have you be our winner of our first giveaway.
Yeah, appreciate you coming out, Steve.
So, Jason, can you do a little bit of education here on why you wouldn't want to eat the snow to hydrate?
Yeah, so it'll actually cool your body down. So you think about snow is, I forgot what the percentage was, but it's like 80% air or something like that. Maybe someone that's listening could correct me, but it's mostly air, very little water that's in there. Whereas ice is kind of the opposite. It's mostly water, very little air. So the amount of water that you would get from eating snow would actually the snow will cool your body down to the point that make you hypothermic. because your core temperature goes down. So that's why we're melting snow, and we're not really boiling it. We're melting it down, and then we're filtering it. And that's what we decided to go with. We probably could have just boiled it, but that would have taken longer. This was the easiest method that we could think with what we had available. Yeah. So
I
don't
wouldn't have
need
thought
snow.
about that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and you always want to leave a little bit of water in the container because it helps the snow melt more the next time around.
Using the water, yeah, makes sense.
I knew not to eat yellow snow, but now I know
Yeah,
not
that's
to
what
eat snow.
Harry was coming. I do not. That's the hidden gem. That's the golden snow.
Yeah, and they always tell you, like, you kind of scrape the first couple inches off the top of the snow, and then you scoop up snow below that. We knew we were going to throw it through the filter anyway, so we didn't care. We were just scooping up snow and then melting it and filtering it.
I love how you shoveled out like a full on 1 mile wide army base. Like you need like enough for a tent. You're like, I'm just going to go ahead and clean this whole area out. Just
so you think that tent is that tent that Exped let us borrow is just a fantastic tent. The thing that I love about it is the actual sleeping space is really small, barely enough for Matt and I. But then you have these two big vestibules on either side that we could keep our backpack and the rest of our gear in. So it's out of the elements, it's under the rain cover, but it's not taking up room with us inside the tent. So that was really important. So you did have to, honestly, the space that I cleared out was not big enough. I actually had to go back with a shovel where the poles were sticking into the back wall of snow and kind of carve out a channel for the poles to sit.
Yeah, even Misfits talking about, watching your video made me rethink my water filtration. Being able to quickly filter could be useful.
Yeah.
And Matt talked about that with that pump that he had.
That's horrible.
It's not efficient at all, but it's for we know we're only going to be out there one night. It works for us. I prefer the Sawyer Minis. You basically fill up a pouch, and then it has a filter that you screw onto the top, and then you kind of squeeze the water through. Or they make a gravity feed one. I prefer those. They have longer filter life. So I think that the one that Matt used, that MSR, can filter 400 or 600 gallons, something like that. The Sawyer Mini can filter 100,000 gallons. And for those of you that are veterans or law enforcement, they do discounts. So it's like 40% off.
Wow.
And they're tiny. So all my kids have Sawyer Minis and all of their 72-hour kits, just in case. Yeah, great little things.
I'm gonna transition for a second because I got a new product and I don't know what I think about it, and we haven't even reviewed this yet. And I kind of want to see what the group's thought is and kind of TLD's input. So what we have here is one of Brownell's new 1x8 M match precision optics. This was supposed to come out in like January, February, but thanks to all the dumb, it's just now showing up now. So it's interesting here. We have this one, and then we also have a Blackhound 1x8, which we did our review on. So they're both 1x8 optics. But the biggest thing is different here, and I really want to hear what you guys' input is, and I'm probably gonna have my own too. The Blackhound is first focal plane, and the Brownells is second focal plane. Now I know we've talked about what we like in 1x6s. What are you guys' thoughts in 1x8s? Like, is it enough magnification to matter? I don't know. I haven't played with the one. I've honestly not even taken it out of the box. So I don't even know the answer to this question myself. We could take it out right now if we wanted.
Personally, I've never shot with a 1x8. I've only ever gone up to a 1x6, and so second focal plane is fine for me. I don't know if that extra 2x is going to make that much of a difference for me.
I think it makes a difference somewhere. I just don't know if it's 1x8. I'm with you. I don't know if it matters.
Maybe between the 6 and 8 range. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking like a 1x10 would be horrible to have as second focal point. When like you have to be a 1 or 10 the whole time. I think that throw, I could tell you, would absolutely be too much to be a second focal point. But whether 1x8 is, I'm not entirely sure about that. So that's one thing I'm excited to look at when we get a chance. So big thanks to Brownells letting us check that one out. But I'm kind of curious how it's going to play out, if I'm going to dislike or not find any issue in second focal plane 1x8.
Yeah, I'm like Jason. I don't have any experience with 1x8s.
I know we all love the 1x6 and second foot. That's still what I recommend. People ask me like, what do I want for an LPVO? Speaking of Joe, Eyes Wide Shut, big shout out to him. He's not able to join us tonight. He talked to me a little bit. He just had a baby, so they are currently at the hospital. They had a little bit of a scare. I don't want to share too much information, but they had a little bit of a scare, and so they had to end up going to the hospital. But he's been talking to me a little bit. Things are going awesome, so he wanted to make sure to send his love to us. That he wouldn't be able to make it, but really love goes out to him. He probably won't watch this. That's fine. We still gave him a shout out. I miss him, and he'll be joining us again next week, hopefully.
Everybody's healthy now, though.
Yeah, everybody's healthy now. Everybody's doing well.
Awesome.
Cool.
So, Jason, what do you got? Are we going to share a little bit on your exciting email we got right before this, your battle box email?
Yeah, so right before the live chat, I got an email that my battle box shipped. It was one of the things I was talking to Walsh about was I wanted to try to prep my week and figure out, okay, when am I going to get this? So I went back to January and looked at YouTube and looked for other people's reviews and try to think, okay, this is going to give me an idea of when I'm going to get my box. And the dates were all over the place. Like people were reviewing the January box from like January 21st to February 5th. So I had no idea when it was going to come in. Just got an email today that should be here next Thursday. So our hope, what we had talked about is the day that it comes in, we're going to try to push that video out. Because that's something that I love these. I love these subscription boxes. I've never subscribed to BattleBox before, so I'm really excited. And we were able to work out a discount code for everybody for their first box. So that's gonna be something for our viewers to enjoy.
Yeah. So if you're looking to join, wait, or I'll post it up in our on our website where it says like a daily deals where I put all the coupon codes. I probably should go ahead and post that. Tell you what, I'll put a note. I'll actually post that coupon code in that daily deals page. So if you're looking to get this month's box, you could jump in front of it, or right after you've used it, you can go on there and grab it, or whatever you want to do. I'll put the code on there though. I'll put a little note to do that now.
I'm gonna wait to see what you get in it.
Yeah.
If you
So
get one of them hats, I'm not getting it.
I don't want a poo-poo hat again.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Go ahead, Cody. You got this one.
So Misfits said he got a Swamp Fox Arrowhead 1x6 second focal plane for his 14.5 P&W AR. What's
Pinned and welded.
P&W?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's some advanced terminology. It's been great. Wondering if a 1x8 or a 1x10 would be better for an AR-10.
So I would say that would really depend on what you want to do with if you're going to be doing CQB and distance it with your AR-10, then yeah, do it. I would probably recommend the 1x10 because you're going to reach out a little farther. But if it's only going to be distance, I don't see 1 to 6 or 1 to 4 is going to do nothing for you. So maybe like a 4 to 12 or something would be better.
Right. Like we talked about with that Crimson Trace we had with that 4x what is this?
16.
16. And with the eye relief that's just bunkers, if you don't need the CQB with it, then do something like this, and you're gonna get to reach out even further and not worry about that 50 yards. Perfect.
Thanks, Miles. Appreciate it, man.
Miles.
So Harry commented.
Oh,
Oh yeah, sorry, I got you.
yeah.
And welded. So
I'm new.
yeah, so that means Harry is the rules are the law is that you have to have a 16-inch barrel. So what people do is they'll buy a 14.5-inch barrel. They'll put a muzzle device on that takes it past the 16 inches, and then they'll have someone weld it on. They'll pin it on and weld it on, so that way that muzzle device can no longer be moved, and it's legal. So technically, where legally most people have a 16-inch barrel and a 2-inch muzzle device. So really, you're talking about 18-inch barrel. Now you have a 16-inch barrel, including your muzzle device.
Oh, that's what I'm going to do, Jay. I figured this whole, we're not going to get in politics, but I figured out this whole SBR excitement. I'm just going to get a 4 or 5-inch muzzle device, like a 12-inch muzzle device.
Yeah, so no joke. I don't know if you guys, I was telling you about that dude that I know who was prior Air Force with us. Sean, I forgot his last name, but he shoots competition. He has that Frankenstein gun I was telling you about.
Yeah.
So he has a 9mm gun that I think it's like, I want to say it's like a 5.5-inch barrel. But what he did is he made like an 11-inch aluminum shroud and pinned and welded that on. So he has a 16-inch barrel, but really it's super lightweight on the front end of it. It's really just a 5-inch barrel with this super lightweight pinned and welded shroud on the end of it.
I'd love to take that to competitions too.
He does. He shoots it competitively.
I got my Geisley handguard. Like, bro, yeah, it's clean like the day you bought it because it's never been out of your safe. Like,
yeah,
sweet, man.
So, Misfit, did you just get that 1x6? I would probably stick with that for a little while, and then I think 1x6 is probably a good range for that length of a barrel. And then you get bored with it, then maybe you can bump up or see what Braden thinks of that Brownell, and maybe you can bump up into that. We'll have a code for Brownell. So.
Yeah, we don't have a code, but we have some stuff we can offer for them. Yeah. But I see what he's saying. If I was going to do an AR-10, I always thought about doing like an AR-10 16-inch build, like 6.5 Creedmoor 308. I think a 1x8 would be awesome on that, or 1x10. I think a 1x6, you can almost look a little bit further than a 5.56 can even reach anyway. A 1x8 on 5.56 is just silly. And when you start to get to that point, you're like, I can see 1,000, but I can't shoot 1,000. So it's good for target identification, but the rifle itself can't go that far. I would always be like, man, I wish I had like a 308 or a 6.5 or 6mm arc. Any of those would be awesome. So it's just a question of, would you use it for CQB? Because now you're talking about toting around an 8-pound gun on your shoulder. Listen, I thought I was going to do that too. And I was like, look at me. How cool this is. I was like, this is not that cool.
So after watching Joe's videos on the 6mm arc, I ended up buying a 6mm arc barrel and ditching my 224 Valkyrie. But I went with a 16-inch barrel because I wanted something that would be easy. In my mind, I'm thinking this is going to be easier to maneuver. I'm not like Joe. My goal is not to shoot out to 1,000 yards, but I want to be able to reach out and touch someone at maybe 600 yards. 16-inch barrel is going to do that for me. But I could also use it. I mean, theoretically, I haven't done it yet, but use it as a CQB rifle. So my thought is that gun is going to be great for a 1 to 10. At least that's what I'm thinking.
And that's what I think of. You know, I do a lot of work with the SEER guys here, and that's kind of what I'm thinking is if it was ever really like a backpack kind of gun where I need to keep maximum distance. Like if I really need to get in that escape and evade mindset and engage only when I want to engage on my terms, I would want to have something like that, like a 16-inch, lightweight as possible, 308, 6.5, 6mm arc with a long-range optic on it that you could use to engage. That's not its primary purpose. Its primary purpose is long-range, but you could still engage close. But that to me would be ideally like in that mission set. Clearing rooms, you'd be like the craziest person ever to bring that with you. I'm sure it would work.
Did those SEER guys tell you that they handle a lot of weapons?
I give them a lot of input. I love them to that.
I'm just picking on them.
So Misfit's saying, I've been to the range a few times with my 14.5, but I need to get class to really test it. I think it's too heavy, and I might go down to a 13.7 or 13.9. So I'll say.
Are we talking 308?
Yeah. What caliber is that? But I know some people talked about wanting us to do another Zero to YouTube Hero rifle series. So I'm gonna do one of those. I'm not particularly good with rifle. For all my shooting, it's really just really good clips, but my transitions and reloads are pretty bad. I just haven't trained with it. There's no reason besides that. I just haven't trained it. So it may be good to see that. And part of that is too, when it seems it's too heavy, we need to work with it. I would say the majority of it. So it's 223 wilds. So I don't think that's too heavy. I run a 16-inch barrel. Most of us run a 16-inch barrel for our 223 wilds. I would just kind of get more used to it. Don't do the Instagram guns. I'm gonna tell you that. You don't need whatever the hell a $400 flashlight from Modlight is. Listen, it's a flashlight. A flashlight is all it is. Okay, not some magic thing. Don't put 10 pounds on the end of your gun. The more weight on the end, the more it weighs. Like that's really what you're holding up, right? So don't go crazy with it out there, and you have a lot more. It'd be a lot easier to manage.
I'd say the number one thing that most people could do to reduce weight is probably handguard. I know a lot of people still have quad handguards. If you were to get rid of those and just put a simple like a Arrow S1 or something on, that's going to cut back so much weight. And and then you keep your 14.5-inch barrel.
We got some good comments tonight. So Davey says, nice. I went 16-inch 6mm Arc 2. I got a 4x16 port. So yeah,
Okay, cool.
kind of right in there. Like if I'm with you, like if I'm using a 16-inch 6mm Arc, I probably am not going to get within 25 yards.
Yeah. So Davey, I have a 6 to 24, and I personally think it's going to be too much for that gun. But I don't have a 1 to 8 or 1 to 10, which is what I'm thinking I'm going to like on it. I do have a 1 to 6 that I'm going to try on it because I do think the 6 to 24 is going to be a little too much for it.
Yeah, maybe we can have you try out the Crimson Trace on there too. See how that one goes.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Cody, this one's yours.
What's up, man? How's it going, brother? I miss your face.
So he's saying, Cody's too excited, but he's saying, thank you guys for your service. Cody, your beard is phenomenal. It is quite majestic.
Yeah. Do you use beard oil, Cody?
Yeah.
What kind? What brand?
There's got to be a technique to it.
Beard Boss.
Oh, okay. I have some badass beard care.
Yeah.
That's what I went with. So my technique, I have a little dropper. I drop it right on my skin, and I rub it in. Just give it a good rub.
So I have beard oil, and then I have beard balm. So I put the beard
Oh,
oil, and I rub it through my beard, and the beard balm I put, it kind of keeps the whiskers down.
Can I change like our description for the channel? Guns, gear, beards,
And beards. Yeah.
Yeah. So David, it's not like I'll be wasting any 6mm arc ammo any less than 100 yards anyway.
Yeah.
That's what we talk about. Mission set. What's your mission set? If you're not trying to engage under 100, don't build a platform that engages under 100.
Yeah.
No,
sure.
It's like, don't spend the extra for a 1x10 if you're gonna plan on engaging outside of 100 anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Jake.
I want to comment on this. There's so many people who get out of the military and decide for themselves that they want to get a beard, but have no idea what beard care is. And then they just look like they just got like this, hey, everybody, I'm newly retired. Like, oh, I could never tell that you just got.
So Jake actually has an awesome beard, and his Twitch handle or his channel on Twitch is the Bearded Strategist. So he's got a pretty great beard.
Like, but is there like a channel on like beard care? Like, I think that's what we need to have here. Like, all right, everyone, welcome to Beard Corner. All right, everyone, get out your beard oil. Now, massage
There's
it
a ton
in.
of that.
Watch it too. I'd be like, all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
No, I mean, when I first got out, I just let it go. And the problem is, like in the corners here, that got all kinds of crazy. So now I'm doing the Viking look.
Okay.
I think it looks better for me.
Okay, so Brownie says something interesting. He said 0 to hero, not just as good, just a good build. I don't know what you're saying.
Just good build.
Let me know.
Clarify,
clarify, Brownies. If you don't want to see a good build, I think our 223 556 build. We built one. It's an arrow build, so it's nothing expensive. Shoots like a dream, accurate as hell, and it checks all the boxes.
I can't remember what barrel do you have in that? Is that a Ballistic Advantage barrel?
It's a Ballistic Advantage premium barrel. Okay, so yeah, he's saying just a good build. I guess I could break down. We could break down what that 223 is, but so we built it at 223 Wild, and we loved it all so much that Joe built another one. So there's a duplicate made of that one. It was so nice. That's the flagship gun. I wish I could show you guys. That's the flagship one we use for the majority of the channel when we talk about, or when you see footage, the one that looks distressed. That's just an Arrow 223 Wild Ballistic Advantage premium barrel. I will say there's time and place to spend money on your guns. Barrels, triggers. Everything else is there to fool you, and it's just a marketing gimmick because Colt BCGs are all Daniel Defense uses anyway. So spend the money on the barrel, get a nice trigger. Don't spend like $500 though.
I like tool steel BCGs personally.
Yeah. I use the Toolcraft. You mean Toolcraft?
Yeah.
So you like that 90? I forget that material, but I liked it on yours too. It worked really well. Yeah.
It's just slick for some reason. I don't know.
So that's what Misfit was saying. Is the BCM upper worth the upgrade over an Arrow?
I personally say no. I think if you had the money and there was availability, if you could go and buy a complete AR right now, go with Arrow.
The Arrow M4E1 build is so good because you don't have any pins Everything is, you just screw everything in. It takes me, I will just go switch out different magazine releases or slide releases, and it'll take me like 2 minutes to do it. And it's super easy. I don't clean my guns. I wish Joe, Joe from our chat was in here. Could I tell him how I don't clean my guns ever? I don't have a failure. So we talk about like what you get in terms of upgrade. I don't know what you get because I'm at 0 failures right now. So I don't know what else you're going to get. God, there's a lot of good chats in here today.
I mean, even arrows, like their blemishes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't even find the blemish.
Yeah.
So Misfit, trigger recommendations, a lot of good ones. Geisley's good, even though I like to make fun of them for being a little bit hoity-toity. They think they're bigger than they are. The company you've never heard of that makes really good triggers is Hyperfire. They probably make one of the best triggers. They're too expensive, though. I use the Rise Armament trigger. That's all I've used in mine. We kind of bought it as like, hey, let's just try it out, though.
I think we all have them.
Yeah, I think that's what we use now. It's just a drop-in. It's probably like 80 or 90 bucks. Phenomenal trigger.
It's like 130, 140.
Is it now? Oh,
yeah.
Well, we got it. It was like 80 or 90, I guess, then.
Yeah.
See, so he was talking about looking at CMC. Didn't one of you guys run a CMC and didn't like
Joe
it?
has a CMC in his 6mm arc. He loves it.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's right.
The ECT1, it's like the CMC Lantac trigger.
The only thing I'll say about the triggers is just understand what you want. And I say that in terms of 2-stage or single stage. That in terms of one being a whole ton better than the other, it's like Ferrari versus Corvette. Like
It depends on what you want. Yeah.
Yeah. They're both going to be fast. They're both going to be awesome. They're both going to be fun. But a single stage is going to work different than a 2-stage. Just know what you want. I like a 2-stage on a precision, a single stage on like a rifle. For some reason, I have it on all my guns. Opposite of that, I don't know why, but
I'd say for 2-stage, you cannot beat the LaRue MBT. It's like $80, and it is just a phenomenal 2-stage trigger.
Yeah. What is it? What are the BCGs? We just use Toolcraft BCGs for everything. We don't use anything fancy.
No, I don't think we have anything fancy.
No, the bolts, we just get our headspace bolts.
Yeah.
Hands down, only trigger is Trigger Tech. I don't think I know them.
Yeah, I think I have a Trigger Tech in my bolt gun. They make Remington 700 triggers. And they make some good triggers.
The PRS triggers.
Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of Timney. I might have to correct myself, Davey. I might be thinking of Timney, not Trigger Tech.
Yeah, I know Timney definitely makes 700.
Yeah. Misfit, let me know. I'll put together that build, that 223 Wild build we did, since we have 2 or 3 of them now. I think most of us have one of kind of what we did and how we made it. Those parts are still hard to find because it's so popular nowadays. But that Aero M4 E1 build, I cannot stress enough. Like with the S1 handguard that Jason talked about, it takes away some of the extra Picatinny rough. So it's really just designed for that C-clamp grip. It's fantastic. And there's not even the room on the top to put a bunch of trash. So you can't do it anyway. Like, I need my laser night vision. No, you don't.
It's so crazy.
40,000 PPS 14.
Do you have any recommendations for plates? Actually, go ahead, Walsh.
Well, it's funny you should mention that. Zach, 3 pounds.
I should get I have a discount code. So there's a discount code we have. So we have the LA Police Gear Level 4 plates. It's kind of what we've been running now. We're actually going to go shoot one. They gave us an extra set that we can go shoot it and actually test it. Some people get really hemmed up on the NIJ standard. Like, well, it's not on the NIJ list. I think that one actually is on the list.
Yeah, it is.
But, there's so many other good plates out there. They're not certified because that certification costs like $40,000, I think. So some of those companies still make good plates, but they're not going to get certified. So they're going to get missed over. Sometimes it's worth it to test it.
So the one thing, though, it was not really a complaint, but something you should know about, Zach, that Walsh talked about on his Gray Ghost plate carrier review is that the LA Police Gear plates are a little thicker than other level 4 plates. And so you need to make sure that your carrier can hold. I think most level 4 plates are like 3/4 of an inch, but the LA Police Gear is like 0.85 inches or 0.9 inches. It's thicker plate. But for a level 4 plate, it's under 7 pounds each. I think it's like 6.5 pounds each. Mm-hmm. Those are great. I mean, and they're $120, and we have a discount code, which I think is TLD 10 or TLDCO. We'll clarify that, but that saves you 10%. So you can get 2 plates for like $200 shipped.
Yeah. And to answer the last part of your question there, Zach, about the false plates, or if you want to look into that, airsoft, you go on Amazon, look up airsoft plate carrier plates or something like that. I actually have some. They're just foam, but they fill up your plate carrier. That way your stuff's not flopping around. But I know a lot of airsofters have stuff like that, so they're not expensive.
I will recommend, though, Cody, having played with a bunch of these plate carriers and trying them out and having to check out the cheek weld, I would recommend getting some that are harder, or even making something. I mean, making some sort of mold, because you're gonna. We laugh about this. We talk about doing all our rifle transitions and learning all of our stuff and learning how to do things super cleanly. And then you put your kit on, and it's funny because you can throw all of that out the window because it no longer matters, because you got to do everything different again.
Yep.
And then if you change to a different plate carrier, you can now throw all that out the window too, because it's all different again. And I've noticed that in checking out at least 3 or 4 different plate carriers. So
these that I have, it's a dense foam. It doesn't give at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want it to kind of get in the way where your plate carrier would be, so then you would see where your rifle kind of needs to set when you go into position. So that dense foam would probably work. I haven't played with that, but I want to. Usually I just throw the plates in there. People are like, but be careful, don't bang them around. Like, dude, I just throw them around. Like, they'll survive.
Yeah.
Great
comments tonight, guys. Really appreciate that.
Yeah. I put the discount code down in the description too.
Okay, discount code there, Zach. So TLD10 save you 10%.
So many good comments today.
So Misfit saying my 10.5 is just a complete arrow upper and lower. It's honestly my go-to for everything.
Yeah. We are big fans of Arrow.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't live in Washington State, so I live in Washington State. They are huge on the Second Amendment front, and they ended up so that they're made in Tacoma. Tacoma passed some crazy gun taxes and like just some other taxes. So they ended up moving their whole shop to Lakewood. They were kind of like, okay, screw you, Tacoma. We're going to Lakewood. We're going to build guns there now. So very active in the Second Amendment fight. It's a company that I really stand behind. I love their stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so we're excited. Yeah, and we've done great with Arrow. Like almost we all have an Arrow build somewhere, and it's just fantastic. They work great. So yeah. And Dave was saying, so the Trigger Tech AR-15s and Remington 700 triggers. I'll try one. I haven't messed with Trigger Tech. I know we've talked about a couple triggers, but I'm sure we're going to need to try one in some of these newer builds. So
yeah, we can reach out to him and ask him, Davey. Appreciate appreciate that.
I'll write that down. I'll let you take this one, Jason, while I write this down.
So Zach says that's great info. Thanks. I could always get some from LRS, but I know they're stringent on why, so I appreciate it. I'm not familiar with LRS, local.
Yep. Yeah, you are. Logistics.
What's that? Oh,
logistics Readiness Squadron. So obviously you can't keep those. So
yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. So you go Cody's route. I think all of us ended up buying the level 4 LA police gear plates, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. And then like Walsh was saying, so they ended up sending Joe an extra plate. And Joe had mentioned on the live chat, Zach, I don't know if you had heard this or not, but on the last live chat or 2 ago, Joe said that he partnered up with Sean from We Like Shooting, who also has a plate from LA Police Gear. So what they're going to do on one plate is they're going to shoot it with a bunch of different calibers and just see what it handles. And on the other plate, they're just going to zero in with 7.62 and just hammer it until it finally fails.
Answer that question. So then we'll know.
Yep.
That's cool. Yeah, and I got a bunch of different plates, the Hesco 4401s and a bunch of other normal ones, and I really do like the LA Police Gear ones. The only one you got to watch for is whether or not they fit in the carrier. And that's kind of why we try to show that in all of our carrier reviews. Do they fit those 1-inch wide, larger plates? That Grey Ghost Gear one is the only one so far. The Spiritus Systems LV119, it fits just fine in there. The S-Tac Deodon fits in there. So pretty much everything. We had no issues so far. I don't know about the Cry. The Cry SPC will be here shortly, and we'll be able to check that out, see how it fits in there. That would be the only carrier that's kind of fit towards like issued plates, the SAP plates. So that could be some issues, but we'll see when we get that, and we'll be able to test it for you.
Cool.
Yeah, but take a look through that coupon code in there and see if it's something you're interested in. What else?
I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I was thinking LRS, and I was like, man, I've been out of the military so long. I was like, what's LRS?
Like, what's LRS?
Local. I was thinking most people use the acronym now, LGS for local gun store. So I'm saying, like, what the heck? How can I get a gun out of an R? Local rifle store, local.
But you're right, Nate.
Good.
You're right.
We got Trigger Tech. Got it, Davey. Thanks, man.
I wrote it down. I'll email them right after this. Worst case, we'll get one and try it out for you guys. Or they tell us to just go away. That's fun. That's fun too. Like, hey, yeah, Davey. I emailed them. They told me to pound sand. Like, they must be really good. Like, that's how you know it's good. And they're like, yeah, those morons. We're not going to send them anything.
That's when we're like, oh, okay, we'll buy one.
Yeah, it's probably legit. Like they didn't give us time of day. No, I'm just kidding. There's a lot of really good companies out there that actually give us a chance that we really do think.
So I noticed Zach he's chatting with us from Facebook. So
welcome, Zach.
Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Yeah. All over the place. That's crazy.
Cool, man. 3 platforms.
Yeah, I think this is only the second time of us going on 3 platforms, and we have comments from all 3 platforms.
We do, and we're gonna have our own Discord after this. Can you imagine that? I can't wait to.
That's crazy.
I want to see Cody on Discord so bad. Like, what is this?
It's magic.
So we've been talking about an hour though. What do you say, Cody? We'll lead us on a quick around the horn, and then we'll close it up shop. Leave people hungry for something next week.
Yeah. I mean, you guys can see how fast these things go when we're chit-chatting with you guys, but that's why we're doing these live chats. This is probably one of the most unique ways for us to actually communicate with you guys, answer your questions, and get to know you. So we really value this, once a week live chat that we get to do with you guys. So we appreciate you guys coming out. We'll wrap it up real quick and talk about some of the stuff we got coming up this week. Go ahead, Walsh.
So on Sunday, hopefully I got a fun one coming for you guys. I had the opportunity to get a good bit of all the different front plate placards that are out there. From the Spiritus Mark IV, I got an HRT Maximus. I have the Haley Strategic DC3RM, some S-Tac front placards. I have all of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you each of the ones that I think are the best. So kind of a top 3 front plate placards. Break each one of them down because they all have different good and different bad. So you may be like, oh yeah, the Spiritus is the best one. Maybe if you could find all the pieces, but I'm going to tell you right now, you can't. So have fun with that because I've spent 3 months trying to do it and I have just the main piece. So we kind of go into that, go into different experiences, what works and what doesn't work. So I'm really excited to show you that. I think you're going to think it's really cool because then when you put your plate carrier together, those front plate placards are really a cool thing where you can change gear out or set things up really easily instead of just being like locked into one thing. So hopefully you can watch that one and then get a good idea of what you want to see. Let me steal this one because I'm super excited because Jason knows about this. So Walsh, have you seen the Axle Eclipse belt? I have, and you're going to be super excited because I ordered one and I actually was one of the few that got it within like the 8 minutes before it sold out. So I have an Axle Eclipse belt coming out. I got their inner belt and I got the Raptor buckle, I think is what it was. It was a little bit more pricey because it seemed like you can change the buckles out, and I had all the other ones, so I just figured we'll just switch them out.
Is this the same company that does the placard adapter?
Yeah, same one that does the front placard. So I got that, and then they also make these these retention bands where you can put the actual clips in, and then it actually tightens it against your plate carrier. So I got some of those too, so we can try all that out. So we'll do like a little axle video. So yes, Misfit, good call. We do also have a BFG CHLK. So I don't know if you've seen those. Those are actual like military rated belts. Like if you're not in the military, you don't need a rated helicopter belt. You don't need that. But we have one for. We're gonna hope Jason goes in a helicopter one day because I'm gonna send it to him. Like, here you go. Of the people that are likely to go in a helicopter, it's you. It's probably not gonna be me.
Joe.
It's Joe. Joe will just end up in there randomly.
Yeah. Like, Joe, we set you up for a helicopter ride. You're going to rappel out of this thing with this belt. What?
He's like, I don't have a belt.
Hey,
like,
trust me, it'll be okay.
We covered that. We got that for you.
With his job, we've done that.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up.
All right, so that's all I got. So it's gonna be super exciting for Sunday. I gotta finish that video. Literally, I gotta literally, like, not even lying, you guys, finish recording it tomorrow. It's been raining out and cold and nasty, so I've kind of been holding off. So if you get a really cool one where you have all the cool backdrops, again, that's because it's raining out and I can't record outside. All right, Jason, over to you, bud.
Yeah, I got, I'm not going to say which brand, but I have an Amazon battle belt. The video is going to be coming out tomorrow. And I've been telling Walsh about this a lot. This is, I've watched the video a couple times. I don't convey it good enough. It's my favorite belt that I've ever worn. And it was the cheapest belt by far that I've ever purchased. So what's that?
How much?
So when I bought it for $28, I looked at it today and it was $24.95. $25 for this battle belt.
How can you not?
And it is just, I don't know durability, but you'll see in the video I was able to do burpees with it, drawing no problem, it didn't move around. It has just been fantastic. So that's going to be coming out tomorrow.
Last one before I get to Cody ended up. I did finally get one of those True North modular holster adapters. Phenomenal. I know you don't like the leg holsters. I need one. I also had them send me a leg holster adapter.
Yeah.
Because I think it kind of like flops up on my body the way I draw. So I couldn't get a just a clean draw. So I'm gonna get that and I'll add it in there.
Yeah.
So we got going on now.
Harry. Damn, I think I'm going to be buying another belt soon based on what you guys are saying. Yeah, so if you want to, now I will say this belt tomorrow, it's not a duty belt, and that's mainly what I like. I look at duty belts. This is not going to be replacing my duty belt, but it's going to be this is my nightstand belt. It's what I'm going to throw on if I hear something happen in the middle of the night.
Look at Misfits, like, but I might get one for the wife.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I had someone like, hey, just grab that belt. It's just that belt wad up in the corner.
Yeah.
Is it any good? It'll work, man. Like,
well, and that's the thing about this is it's better than that. Like it's better than, again, just right now, I've only had it for about a month, but it's better than it'll just work. Like this is.
Where would you rate it in the current belts? I need to go back to that.
Rating. Yeah. So out of the belts that I have personally that I've used, it's my favorite belt.
Okay. What about like mine? Like I know you haven't played it, but what about like compared to like the Orion? That's one of my least favorites. I don't know. Because it doesn't have like, it's just a different connection style.
I think that it would be better just because of the price that I paid for it.
True. You're right. It's 4 times the price just for the belt. So yeah I guess.
So I do have my current duty belt is a Gray Ghost Gear UGF battle belt.
Harry said, that's just an excuse to tell you something to buy another belt. That's why I have 3 plate carriers. My wife.
Spoken like a true accountant.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jason, you're talking.
So my current duty belt is a Gray Ghost Gear UGF, their battle belt, and I do love it. It has some issues, but that's the one that I trust my life with. I mean, it goes with me on search warrants. It's the one that I use all the time. Yeah, there's an update to that one. Gray Ghost Gear came out with a version 2.0 that they are sending us. So I was going to do a review on my Gray Ghost Gear battle belt. Now I'm going to be doing kind of a dual review. So I'm going to show you the current one, what I dislike about it. And it looks like from the pictures I've seen, it looks like they fixed all the things that I didn't like about the old one. Yeah. So really, really looking forward to that.
Okay. We really will end this sooner or later, but the way this mess started with the plate carriers, I'll give you a little bit of story. So I bought a plate carrier and it was like, okay. And then I bought a new plate carrier and plates, of course. And I was like, well, what am I going to do with the old one? And everybody else in TLD, they're like, well, your wife doesn't want to survive too. Like, oh, good point. Good point. I better hold on to it. My wife needs to survive. And then like I get like 3 and like, well, what if you have a friend? Yeah, good call. My wife and whoever else. That's why I have 3. It's gotten a little bit. I'm expecting a lot of friends to show up when things go sideways, apparently. All right, Cody, back to you if you want to close this up.
Yeah. So I'll just I'll plug Dragon mounts again. I'm out. There you go. Check his website out. I think those prices are reasonable for what you're getting. He did mention to me he doesn't necessarily have a discount code for TLD, but if you email him and let him know that you're military or law enforcement or that TLD sent you, he'll hook you up with a discount. Just let us know if you get something, and we'll definitely shout you out. We're trying to get him on the show to kind of talk about his product here in the next week or so. So we'll see what happens with that. But again, we appreciate you guys for coming out. I love that we're on more platforms like Twitch and Facebook. YouTube's been good to us, but we're trying to branch out. Tell your buddies about us. Bring them next week. This is what we do every week. We kind of chit chat about what we got going on, and we kind of BS along the way. Go ahead, Jason. You had something.
Sorry, one last thing. So for those of you that didn't jump on right at the beginning, we did a giveaway. We're not going to do that every time, but it's just going to be a game that we're going to play amongst ourselves. So today it was the first person that commented won something. So they won this mag carrier, universal mag carrier that I like. But it might be like the 10th commenter or the first person that comments with the first letter of a J or something like that. Who knows? Who knows what crazy schemes we're going to think of? So comment. We enjoy it, and you might win something.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, we love interacting with you guys. This is a very unique platform for us to use. So rather than you just listening to our little monotone voices on a video, we're able to kind of engage with you guys and chit chat and get to know you. So we definitely enjoy it. We appreciate you guys coming out. Go ahead, subscribe to this if you haven't. Subscribe to TLD, our regular YouTube page, our Facebook, Instagram, Twitch. What else we got? That's about it for now.
Discord.
Yeah.
We got Discord.
Discord. Yeah, so we'll shoot that out.
Yeah, I'll stay in the chat and see if I can chat with them and get the details from after this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we appreciate that. That'll be awesome. But again, TLD, we love you guys. We'll see you next week. We're out.